Do you like climbing and running through obstacle courses? How about speed running through a level as fast as you can? And what about user-created content to give you all the levels you could ask for? Well, in today's VR Essentials Guide series entry, do we have the game for you? It's CruzerBass here, and I'd like to present you with the new entry into the series, Climbey. But before I dive into explaining why this game is worthy of being on the VR Essentials Guide series, I do want to let you all know that this is a one-person dev team. I was super impressed to find that out, so I'll put the link to their Twitter in the description below. Be sure to go check it out. Anyways, it's time to break down what makes this game so great, and let's start by diving into gameplay. So first things first, and that's explaining the objective. The objective is that you start at one end of the map and there's a flag somewhere located in the stage. You have to touch it and then you move on to the next one. Sounds easy, right? But the truth is that the physics-based climbing experience involved in Climbey is easy to understand but very hard to master. And the way that stages get laid out, you're going to fall, you're going to fail, but that's the fun of it. Understanding what comes next and how to approach it the best way possible. Now, how exactly do you move around in this game? Well, the thing you need to know is that everything revolves around your hands. You can shimmy on over in a walking motion to move slowly and steadily, or you can grab and pull yourself forward into the position you want. It might take you a little time to get used to that sort of movement, but honestly, I picked it up fairly quickly and it's very intuitive. Secondly, get ready to grab onto things because your movement is going to be hindered only by the obstacles ahead of you. And typically speaking, from the title alone, you can assume that you're going to be doing a lot of climbing with your hands. As an example of some of the obstacles you can expect in Climbey, think of tall walls you have to climb over, think of bars that you have to swing to and from, or even beams that you have to balance and walk across. But there's plenty more you're going to have to deal with going forward as well. Now that you know a bit about the gameplay loop and what you can expect in terms of gameplay mechanics, let's start talking about the features and content. And as I mentioned before, the replayability this game offers is immense. You have everything from Mario stages to insanely detailed obstacle courses that have their own trails for difficulty to get to the top. I mean, just looking up at this wall and taking a look at it just makes it feel so daunting to see in VR. The developer really nailed on making these gameplay mechanics fun and work well, and on top of that, the community pulled through and have made so many quality maps that you can download for free and take on. And that's not to say that the game doesn't include its own stages either, because it does. It includes a very good amount of stages that are really good at making you understand what you're getting yourself into. If you're a newcomer to Climbey, be sure to play these stages. It's super well done, and honestly, it's a great introduction before you smooth your way into the user-generated content, because some of those stages can be insanely difficult. Now, instead of just racing yourself and going against the clock, you can also hop in online and play with up to 5 other friends. That's right, this game supports up to 6 players in one stage racing it out. Or if racing really isn't your thing, you can also play with your friends and help each other get across a stage by reaching out to their hand, grabbing it, and holding on. It's a really neat mechanic, and it makes taking on those harder stages a lot less daunting when you have friends to help you out. Now, to summarize that all, you have single player levels that you can take at your own pace or challenge yourself and speedrun to see how fast you can get across. You have 6-player multiplayer where you can race against everyone or play cooperatively and help each other out. And the cherry on top being the user-generated content, giving you so many levels to play around with. Which, by the way, is all run through the Steam Workshop, so installing new content is fast and easy. Another important feature to note is all the comfort settings available, as they'll help you out if you get nauseous in VR easily, but personally I didn't get any sort of nausea or sickness playing Climbey. And now that you know the content involved, let's start talking about the visuals and immersion. Now, it's fair to say that Climbey isn't the most technical when it comes to graphics. That being said, it's easily one of the most immersive experiences I've had. To be fair, before I start talking about the immersion, it's important to note that I do have a fear of heights. So when I decided to take on a big obstacle and climb all the way to the top just to look down, believe me when I said that fear of heights kicked in. to the point where my hands started shaking. But it was awesome to take that challenge on, knowing that I was in the safety of the ground floor. So it's fair to say that yeah, this game is immersive enough for that fear to kick in for me. Obviously, it may not be that way for everyone else, but personally, it got me going, and I thought it was an awesome experience to take on and overcome. Another really important thing to mention about the art style is that while not technical, it really made things easy to understand on what you can grab and hold on to. Things like that really add a nice touch to the polish and user experience when playing a game. Now to conclude, I really want to say that Climbey is very much so deserving of being on the VR Essential Guide series list. It is definitely worth your time, and for the price of entry, it's really hard to compete with it in terms of content due to the level editor and the community made levels. It's a fun experience and one that I definitely recommend to anyone who has a VR headset. Be sure to check out @TheShadowBrain on Twitter, as that's the creative mind behind Climbey, and their website as well, as there's really neat VR experiments for you to download and try out, both of which will be linked in the description below. And be sure to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to not miss my next video. Appreciate you for watching. Like and comment. Feel free to tell me what you think of the game or the video. All feedback is welcome. Have a great day and peace.